Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast on the Bet Rivers Network, brought to you by Casamigos Tequila. Casamigos Tequila is brought to you by those who drink it. We're coming to you on the Mike Francesa channel on the Bet Rivers Network on YouTube after another giant debacle, and there's nothing else to say about it. And, I stayed around to see the coach just to see what he would say, and I got caught up on the red zone stuff because there was some crazy stuff that went on, including the Dallas game, which you got to see to believe. Washington, hitting an 86-yard touchdown pass and then missing the extra point and wind up losing the game, which ensures that the Giants will be underdog because the Cowboys won today. So the Giants will be underdog on Thanksgiving in that wonderful matchup between Rush and DeVito that everyone will be all excited about at 4:30 on Thanksgiving. Um, Bears are still playing in that crazy game with the Vikings, but the story here is the Giants. And if you were looking for some life, if you were on this DeVito bandwagon, it didn't last long. They were booing by the half. They had left by the end of the third quarter. 23-0 in the first half. The Giants got a run from Tracy for like 16 yards on the first play from scrimmage. Then went 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. Did not score in the first half. They have not had a lead in 6 straight games. At the half, where you saw Mayfield making fun of the Giants and DeVito by trying to do the Tommy Cutlets, thing with the fingers. And he doesn't need to do that. But the point is, they're just basically thumbing their nose at the Giants. They've heard enough. Mayfield had outpassed them 230-31. They were outgained in the first half 290-45. Tampa ran 39 plays to the Giants 18. The Giants were feeble on defense, couldn't get them off the field on third down, couldn't cover anybody, couldn't tackle anybody, and the Giants couldn't protect their quarterback. I told somebody last night, I made them a bet. I won the bet. I said the first time Vito drops back to pass, he's going to get sacked. And I said, I guarantee you that Bowles blitzes on at least 60 to 65% of the plays. When we stopped counting, he had blitzed on 78% of the plays. Everyone knows that DeVito takes an inordinate amount of sacks. As a matter of fact, his sack rate last year was so obscene. It was 17%. He had 36 sacks in 160 plays. I mean, it's insane. He has trouble getting the ball off. We all know that. The Giants couldn't get the ball near Neighbors in the first half. They came out in the second half and got the ball to him. Yeah, but they got the ball to him when the game was over. They're in a soft shell in the second half. I mean, come on. You make it seem like it was a competitive game. They started completing some plays. Yeah, when it's 30-0. And of course, the Giants come out, get that drive going in the second half, and then go into that ridiculous, for no reason, ridiculous play on the goal line and get a fumble out of Tracy, who got benched for a little while after it. I mean, I don't know why they went to the direct snap to Tracy. There was no reason to do that at that point. And they fumbled in the red zone. What else is new? I mean, that was another big fumble by Tracy, who got benched, like I said, for a little while, came in the game late. And at the end of the game, the Giants calling timeouts in the final seconds in a game that is 30-7. Why? What for? To pad somebody's stats? I mean, are we kidding here? Or to show that you're fighting to the end? You're not fighting to the end when you're releasing players all over the field, when guys are taking screen passes and going 60 yards with them. And you break 14 tackles. That's 1-2. Don't give me that you're trying because you call timeout with backup players in the game at the end of the game, or you're trying to throw into the end zone to pad your stats. And listen, Giants, one thing. Knock off this celebrating when you get a first down or catch the ball. Hey, I don't want to see you score a touchdown at 30-0 and then celebrate in the end zone. What are you saying? All right, I got a touchdown. What all right for my career? You're down 30-0 when you scored. Have some humility. Care. Have some pride. My God, what are you doing? The Giants are getting up when they get a first down and they're motioning to Tampa, first down. And what do you think Tampa cares? It's 30-0. And then after the game, I wait for Dable, and Dable says, "Oh, we just didn't do well. We didn't coach well. We didn't play well." Really? How many times have we heard that this year? We didn't play it well enough. Starts with me. What is that? That's like the cleanser. Is that like the? All right, I cleaned the area. I said that it was on me, so now we don't have to worry about anything else. What about the fact that you moved on from Dan Jones? We moved on. That's it. They moved on, and we all know why. Because he had a $23 million clause in his contract against injury. We understand that. It's happened before. It happened to Russell Wilson. It happened to Carr. It's going to happen to other quarterbacks. We understand that. That's what it is. But what do you think? The audience is stupid? You think the fans are stupid? They know why. They don't think that DeVito is better than Daniel Jones. Even though they don't think Daniel Jones is very good, they don't think DeVito is better. Only somebody trying to, I don't know what you're trying to do if you're trying to tell me that DeVito's, going to be a great quarterback. DeVito, listen, this is not about him. It's not about him. But he's not the answer. The Giants don't have any answers. They can't even get the ball off. And when you get the ball off in the second half, up down 30-0, nobody cares. The other team is not pinning their ears back and coming after you anymore. It's 30-0. They don't want their players to get hurt. All they want to do is exchange a little real estate for you catching a pass, let the clock run, and when you get into the red zone, they'll play a little tighter, and that's it. And then give us the ball back and let us come back. I mean, 23-0, they get the ball on a fumble, and then they go 95 yards for a touchdown. So there's nothing going on here. So there's nothing good to say. The only thing I would say now is if I'm Dable, I'd worry about getting fired. Because if you put forth 3 or 4 more things that look like this, if you go down to Dallas, and Dallas today, everyone got the alert this morning, okay? Dallas is uncovering their defense today. They're bringing their guys back. They're bringing Bland back. They're bringing Parsons back full-time. And you said, be careful today. Everyone was saying it everywhere. Be careful today because Dallas is going into Washington to win. They went into Washington, they won. They needed some help to do it. They needed a couple of crazy kick returns to do it. But they went in there to play hard today and win. They're going to do the same thing on Thanksgiving Day with the guys they have. And Parsons and the Dallas defense is going to come after DeVito and the Giant offensive line every single play. They are going to blitz them and pound them just like everybody else does. And they're going to do that. If you care, the Cowboys have been installed as 3-point favorites. If the Giants had won today and Dallas had lost, it might have been a pick 'em, or Giants might have been favored 1 or 2. Now the Giants are underdog. They have to be because they haven't had a lead in 6 games. And they stunk the place out today against a Tampa team that had lost 4 games in a row. Tampa came off a bye after some tough losses to good teams and a lot of injuries. Came off a bye and played like a football team that cares and that understands that it's trying to get to the playoffs. The Giants came off a bye, and we hear from all the Giant apologists, an emotional time. Really? You cared so much about Daniel Jones, you wouldn't have been 2-8. An emotional time. They lost their friend. Are you going to tell me that's why they didn't tackle today? Because they lost their friend? Really? That's what you're going to try and tell us, is that they what about all the other games when they haven't tackled? What about all the other games where they've turned guys loose in the secondary? Have they lost their friends all those weeks too? Maybe they should lose their jobs. rather than their friends. They're 2-9. They went today again, and now, just like the Philly game, which I was at, where there was a mass exodus out of the building with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Today, there was a mass exodus out of the building again in the third quarter. They showed up. Oh, yeah, you made the move that made them happy. They were booing before the half. They were booing the Giants unmercifully into the half. The Giants can't score in their building, can't score in the first half, and are non-competitive. They stink. And I don't know how many times this coach gets to stand up there and tell you, well, it starts with me. It starts with me. Well, that's great. It starts with you. How many weeks in a row is this going to happen? How many times are we going to look at this? The Eagle game, they were buried. They were non-competitive. Today, they were buried. They were embarrassed. They were run out of their building again. They scored 7 points. I actually heard, and listen, you got to understand, the guys who are doing the Giant post game, or you hear on these Giant shows, they're paid by the Giants. You got to understand that. They're not going to say anything about the Giants. They're going to be about as objective as Pat Hanlon. I mean, come on. The Giants had a tough week. It was an emotional week. They're human beings. They're human beings. They're football players. And they got run out of their own building again by a team that had lost 4 games in a row and was about the worst ranked pass defense in the league. The Giants couldn't get a first down in the first half. Couldn't get their quarterback to remain upright in the first half. They couldn't get the ball to Neighbors once, and Neighbors has got to stop dropping the ball. Listen, he's a talented kid. Stop dropping the ball. They gave you a gift reception, which I couldn't even believe, on the sideline. And then he dropped another ball that cost him a first down. I mean, stop dropping the ball. Catch the ball. Catch the ball, put it away. His year has turned to complete nothingness. He hasn't had a touchdown in how long? 6 weeks? I mean, this is just an embarrassment. And everything is indicated that this coach and this general manager are going to get another swing, and they're going to get to bring in their own quarterback. But what makes you possibly think it's going to get better? Why would you believe that? You've been watching this same garbage from the Giants day in, day out, year in, year out now for so long. Why would you possibly think it's going to get better? Why? Any reason to believe that's going to be better? That's like thinking that the Jets are going to make the right decision for their coach. They're not. Not if Woody's making the decision. They're not going to get the right guy. They'll screw it up. They've screwed up, and it sounds like now every indication is that there's been a real rift now between Rodgers and Woody. So Rodgers is probably going to IR very soon and then out of here. Now he won't retire. He'll go He'll go play somewhere next year, and that'll probably make the Jets look bad. Well, what else is new? What else is new? Wouldn't that be the case? I mean, why wouldn't that be the case? Don't people make the Giants and Jets look bad all the time? Does it ever change? It's one after another. I mean, the Giants are 2-9. They're playing a team today. This is going to be tremendous with Tommy DeVito. Oh yeah, and remember they're playing a Tampa team that can throw the ball. I mean, Baker Mayfield can get the ball in the end zone. He's got 24 touchdown passes coming in, and he's going to get Mike Evans back, and he's got some weapons. Okay, but he's missing his best offensive lineman, so we're going to be able to put. This is what you heard all week. You're going to be able to put a lot of pressure on him. They had no sacks, and they converted like 85% of their third downs, and he ran for I don't know how many first downs and hit every receiver you could imagine all over the field. I mean, bing, 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 bing. Giants couldn't get a first down. I mean, Giants were playing a team today that I believe came into the week 31st against the pass. I believe 31st, and couldn't complete a pass down the field. Don't tell me about the second half, what they did, because if you know anything about football, what happens after 30-0 is meaningless. Meaningless. 30-0, 4 or 5 minutes left in the third quarter. It's garbage time. That's all. I don't care I don't care if a guy completes 18 passes in a row after that. None of it matters. None of it's real. It's all nonsense. That's an exchange of real estate for time. That's all it is. I don't care if you score 1 or 2 touchdowns as long as I can get the game over with. Let me sit back here in a soft shell and let you catch the ball in front of me and tackle you. That's all. Have fun. Have fun completing the ball. I mean, I don't know why they felt after punishing him. I don't know why they felt they needed to dump the ball to Tracy about 5 straight times at the end of the game. That's like calling timeouts so they could dump the ball to Tracy again. So if you took Tracy over as a receiver today, you know what? You got lucky late because he hadn't even caught a pass until like the last 2 minutes of the game. Then he caught like 5 or 6. He just don't. I mean, Dable stands up there and you just say, hello, hello. Anybody home? Anybody home? And hey, do not think things can't get bad enough that they have a change of heart. The idea is to show some fight in some of these games at some point. But you know what? DeVito or no DeVito, there's going to be nobody in that ballpark at the end of the season. And that matters to the Mariners. Do not think it doesn't. It always has. It always has. And the last thing, if they go down there, and I don't know if Dallas has enough right now, toughness, pride, to really put a beating on the Giants right now. Now, if their defense is going to get healthier and is going to play their guys, they're going to come after him. I mean, just having Parsons alone healthy now, he's going to come after the quarterback all day. And with the Giants hurting at the tackle spots, DeVito's going down because he doesn't know. He does not handle rush well. We all know that. He went down 4 times today, and they called the dogs off. Or it could have been a lot worse. I think he went down 4. I mean, he threw for 31 yards in the first half. And after the first play, which, like I said, went for like 16 yards, I don't think they even had a decent play the rest of the first half. So you know what? Just to show you, we can give you some good news. You're going to see them again in just 4 days. But then you don't have to see them for 11 days. But you're going to see them for 4 days. They're going to go to Dallas. And hey, isn't that going to be a thrill? The Cowboys with Cooper Rush and the Giants with Tommy DeVito on Thanksgiving. That's what you're asking for. After the Bears, and did the Bears lose that game? I know they probably did. I think they did, right? I'm going to look now, and they got beat, right? Tell me they got beat, right? Let me see. Yep, 30-27. So they've lost 5 in a row, and they've lost some heartbreakers. Now Caleb Williams is playing better. He made some plays today. He fought down the stretch. He wound up 32 out of 47 for 340 and 2 touchdowns. You're seeing the development of the quarterback. You're seeing him and Adunze start to develop something as rookie players. They obviously have Moore and Allen, who are good receivers. Komet's a good tight end. They have the makings now as the quarterback starts to develop to get better and better. But this year's been very tough. It really started to come apart right after they gave up that Hail Mary to Washington. And Washington's starting to come apart a little bit right now, too, um, with their loss to the Cowboys today. But the Bears will go to Detroit, and Detroit, who put a whipping on the Colts today, will put a whipping on. They'll give everybody a Thanksgiving feast, and they'll put 40 on the Bears on Thanksgiving and move to 11-1 in the first game, and then you'll have the Giants and the Cowboys in the middle game, and then the last game is a hot Dolphin team now, who are now 5-6, and don't be surprised if they go to the playoffs as long as they can keep Tua healthy against the Packers. That's going to be a good third game. So when you kick back on Thanksgiving night after a day of family and turkey and everything else, that's going to be a pretty good late game. That's your third game. And then remember, you have the Chiefs, who won today after they allowed Carolina to tie the game up late and get a 2-point conversion. Of course, Mahomes came down the field, and the ex-Jet kicker kicked them to another victory as they beat the Panthers 30-27. They play on Black Friday against the Raiders, who right now are playing the Broncos and leading the Broncos. That's always going to be a tough game for the Broncos to play the Raiders on the road. Right now, 7-3 Raiders in the second quarter, but Raiders and Chiefs. Chiefs own the Raiders. They play on Black Friday. You got that game, and then you got the big three games on Thanksgiving. And for you Giant fans, you get the Giants and the Cowboys. And the Cowboys have been installed as 3-point favorites. The Lions, if you're interested, I believe have opened as 12-point favorites against the Bears. I think 12. And you know what? They can't make the lines high enough against the Lions anymore. That's all. I said that a couple weeks ago on the podcast. Doesn't matter how high they make the lines. Lions are going to go past it. Right now, there's nobody in their class. Nobody close to where the Lions are right now. They are steamrolling their way towards a Super Bowl, and I don't think there's going to be anybody in the NFC that can stop them. Maybe the Giants could. No, obviously. What a mess. What a absolute disgrace. We'll see you later.